I don't think we're working so much on parallel parking today like you guys worked on, but we are going to be talking about winter driving. By the way, we do apparently have some clear skies out here in Pitt Meadows. So yeah, it is winter, so we're going to talk about the importance of winter tires. Up first, stay with us. You're watching BT Live from Pitt Meadows. It definitely is, and I love the song. Life is a highway, I want to drive it all night long, but you got to do it safely, and we're going to be doing some winter driving tips this morning. Melanie, first of all, do people actually, outside of getting their driver's license, do they take specific courses for specific skills?
Absolutely. We have people who take skills for advanced driving, as well as specifically to gain more skills when it comes to winter driving, whether it be driving in ice and snow or driving in winter cold, wet conditions like we have here in Vancouver.
Fantastic. So we're giving some great little tips here this morning. Let's talk tires. What do we have right here?
Well, we have two tires here for to look at. What we have right now is this is a high performance tire for summer. One of the things you'll notice is the tread blocks are bigger. There's only channels through the center. These are designed for high performance, for grip on the road, and they're not really designed to channel the slush and the snow and the extreme wet like we have in the winter.
And we've been seeing some of that, of course, recently. So let's talk about the kind of tires that we really need for this time of year.
Absolutely. Even though a lot of people seem to think that we're in Vancouver, we don't get a lot of snow, we don't need winter tires, we absolutely do, because it's not about the tire as much as it's also about the temperature of the tire and the type of rubber and what it can do at that temperature. So right here, what we've got is we have more tread blocks. You can see the wider spacing between the blocks, both horizontally and vertically, and that also gives us more channeling. It gives us the ability to get the water and the slush and snow out of the way. The other important thing is you noticed on the other tire we had solid blocks. Now if you look at the tiny sipes that we call them inside the tread block of a winter tire, these are designed to pull open as it presses down on the road and almost grip the road, whether it's ice or snow. And it also does a better job of channeling water. So you can see every tread block has these sipes, and that's what discerns a winter tire.
How long should you be able to get out of your tire? How much is the lifespan for the winter tire?
Generally a winter tire, if you alternate them with a summer tire or an all-season tire, you can get about 5 years from each set.
Fantastic. Well, some great, information on winter tires. Coming up next, Jody and Riaz, at about in the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about the proper positioning in the car to be safe during the winter. Yeah, exactly. We are talking winter driving here at the Pitt Meadows Airport with Driving Unlimited. So before we can actually get to driving, we got to make sure we're in the right position. That's all coming up next on BT. Stay with us. I am, and listening to the song, yes, I'm getting behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz this morning here at the Pitt Meadows Airport. Melanie, of course, we're talking about winter driving skills. Before we even start to drive, though, we've got to be positioned properly. I remember when I was taking my driving class, I thought it's 10 and 2.
Absolutely, and that's an urban myth. That's an old school approach when the steering wheels were bigger and the power steering systems were less effective. Now we use 9 and 3.
Okay.
And 9 and 3 is it breaks the wheel in half. It gives you more control, and it gives you just a better clearance of the airbag, which is very important because airbags come out of the steering wheels nowadays.
Very important to note. Okay, so let's talk proper positioning. First of all, my husband always gives me a hard time when I take the car out because I've messed it all up, and it takes him a little while to get set up again, but the setup is important.
It is. That's what makes memory seats so good. So you can all have your own position.
Exactly. Okay, so seatbelt is on first.
Yes.
First.
You're going to have your seat all the way down.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief, your seat needs to be down. You need to be looking at the middle of the windshield, not at the top of the windshield.
Because it feels like I'm really low. Like right now, it feels like if I'm driving, I almost need to be able to see the front end of my car.
Well, that's a good point. You actually don't need to see the front of your car anymore. You should be seeing down the road.
Okay.
So you shouldn't see over the nose of your car.
All right, so now proper positioning. I'm sit back in my seat.
You're going to get close enough to the pedals so that you have a good bend in your knee.
Okay.
You're now close enough to the wheel, and you've adjusted the wheel so that you have a good bend in your elbow, a very good bend, and your shoulders and your hands are around the same level. And your hands stay right here at the 9 and 3 position, just hanging off that crossbar.
Once in a while, it's kind of like you get comfortable.
That's right.
This is not the way to be doing
You know what?
things.
When you sit upright like you are, like you're in a desk chair, it's much easier. It's less fatigue, it's not hard on the back at all. You're going to press back with your left leg, and you're not going to put any pressure at all on your steering wheel.
Now, when I wear heels after a gig or after work, I sometimes will get almost like a little shin splint.
Absolutely.
Obviously in my driver foot there.
And you know what? That's a good point. 'Cause a lot of people drive in heels, a lot of women.
Yeah.
And it's important to have driving flats. Keep a pair of driving flats in your car just under the front seat, and you can go from there.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to start things up here right now. For more details, again, on the driving school, you can go to their website. I'm going to make my way just to get a little dry run here, but we got some more winter driving tips coming up a little bit later there, Michelle. Well, you know, and only in Vancouver, or should I say Pitt Meadows, when you sort of have no rain and a neck heater here in this Mercedes-Benz. How comfortable is this? But, you know, we are talking about making sure you are safe. We're talking winter driving, and I'm going to go through a little course coming up next. Stay with us. 9 and 3, everybody. 9 and 3. Exactly, ride along in a safe manner here. We're talking winter driving, and I'm still talking about this neck scarf warmer. Are you kidding me? This is like the latest technology. I love it. Okay, but we're talking about safety first here. We're here at the Pitt Meadows Airport, and Melanie, of course, we learned earlier, 10 and 2, outdated. 9 and 3 is the position here.
Absolutely.
And what are we going to be doing here right now?
We're going to be working on vision and steering. So with you have now with the proper seating position and steering, you're going to work on looking ahead. Okay. Instead of looking down the road, we're going to look on the horizon, use your peripheral vision to see the cones, and you're just going to weave gently through the cones.
And let's talk about the maneuvering hand-wise. We're not doing any kind of crossovers in this case. What are we actually doing?
You're just going to keep at road speeds with 9 and 3 in proper seating position. You're going to keep your hands at 9 and 3. That's right, with your fingers on it, holding lightly, gripping it like a computer mouse, and just holding your foot back pushing your butt back with your left leg, and you're just going to roll the wheel gently back and forth.
And the idea here, not to hit any cones. And I must say, when we set up initially, I hit a couple cones. So let's see how we do right now. And I know that we're going to take a shot from above here as well. So Nelson, I'll try not to hit you on the way back. Okay, so let's go, Melanie. And at which point should I make sure that I'm starting to turn? Of course, we're talking specifically winter driving, so that things are nice and smooth, and so we're not sliding around, right?
Absolutely. You want to make sure your moves are smooth and ahead of time. Looking ahead, giving yourself lots of time for your brain to process and make the decisions, so that you don't have to make any last-minute rough maneuvers, which would upset the balance and cost you valuable traction.
How did I do right there?
That was great.
Not too bad, not too bad. Excellent. And of course, for people that want to take a driving course here, again, it's not just about getting your license, it's also about learning special skills, right?
Absolutely. It's about learning those things that you learn once you progress from your license to get more information about how to drive safely.
And perhaps even getting a little bit higher performance here. For more details on the driving school, you can go to their website. Coming up next, we're going to talk about ABS. What does it feel like? How do you work with it? And of course, that helps us on those icy roads there, guys, back at the station. We'll see you coming up for celebrations just after 8 o'clock. Exactly. We're talking about ABS, and you talk about hopefully you don't have to use it. We'll talk a little bit in a couple of seconds about the proper positioning of your hands to also best protect yourself should your airbag end up deploying. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but ABS, really important for winter driving.
Yes, it is. It is what makes sure that you can stop and use maximum braking, although still have full steering control.
Full steering control. Okay, so we're all set up. I've got 9 and 3. We've got Nelson all ready to go on the other camera there. So let's go. I'm going to go to about 60.
All right.
Here we go.
Look ahead. Get ready. On the brakes hard.
Just like that. Okay,
excellent.
So we'll get Nelson to make his way over here. What did you notice about my technique sitting here next to me?
Well, first of all, the first thing, and this happens a lot of people, we panic and you stop breathing. So you're holding your breath, gripping the wheel, and then everything is tight.
You white knuckle it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So think of, that's why you want to practice these things, so you can do it while you're relaxed. Nice relaxed grip. Remember to use that wheel like a steering wheel on a computer mouse, not like a brace.
And it's important to know what it feels like. So for anyone that has ABS and has never had to use it, taking a course like one that you have coming this weekend, where you can bring your own car, could be important.
Absolutely. It gives you a chance to practice all these things so that you're not panicking when it actually happens to you.
Okay, so let's talk about if, in fact, you do end up having to use it to the point of perhaps even having an airbag go off. Let's say there is impact. What's the best way to position your hands so that you're not, so you're perhaps, hopefully causing the least amount of damage to your own body?
Well, you will cause the least damage. That's what's important. When we talked about hand position, having your hands at 9 and 3, regardless of where you are in the steering position, you'll be outside the airbag.
So if I'm one of those people that turns like this.
Absolutely. That elbow doesn't bend that way.
And so all of a sudden, this is going to cause a problem.
If that airbag comes out. Yeah.
Some great tips. Obviously, we just touched the surface. For more details on the Mercedes-Benz Driving Academy, you can go to their website. And again, Jody and Riaz, they do have a class this Sunday. You can bring your own car and learn how your car maneuvers under those wet and icy conditions.